The eighth process of the Align, Plan and Organize domain, called Manage Relationships, has 5 practices. The first practice is to understand the business expectations. From a RACI charts perspective, the entities that are responsible include the business process owners, the head IT development, and other IT heads and managers. The entity that is held accountable is the Chief Information Officer. The practice receives one input, which is the strategic roadmap from the APO02 process, and generates one output, which is the agreed-on business expectations to be used internally. The activities involved in this practice include identifying the business stakeholders and understanding their interests and areas of responsibilities. The enterprise strategic objectives and issues should be reviewed, and an awareness of the business processes should be maintained. The business expectations from IT services and programs should be clarified and agreed on, and the business units should understand the priorities and the constraints to manage those expectations by IT. The second practice is to identify the IT opportunities and constraints to enhance the business. The entities that are responsible for this practice include the business process owners, the strategic committee, and several IT heads. The entity that is held accountable is the Chief Information Officer. The practice receives several inputs that include the IT service gaps and the service performance reports from the APO09 process, and the causes for quality delivery failures from the APO11 process. The practice generates one output, which is the agreed-on action plan to be used internally. The activities involved in this practice include understanding how technology opportunities can enhance the business process performance, and communicating that along with the related risks and constraints to the relevant stakeholders. New initiatives should be agreed on in cooperation with the relevant parties and the IT portfolio management, to ensure the integration with the enterprise architecture. The third practice is to manage the business relationship. The entities that are responsible for this practice include the business process owners, the business executives, and several IT heads. The entity that is held accountable is the Chief Information Officer. The practice receives several inputs that include the incidents and service requests, the user confirmation of service fulfillment, and the incident trends reports, all from the DSS2 process. The practice generates 2 outputs, which are the agreed-on key decisions and the escalation status, both to be used internally. The activities involved in this practice include assigning relationship managers for the significant business units, who on their part should assign someone with an adequate technology awareness level. Those 2 parties should work together to achieve the common enterprise objectives, in a formalized and transparent way, and they should meet regularly to discuss matters such as the performance results and the new plans reviews. Complaints and escalation procedures should be defined and communicated, to have a better resolution time. Finally, key decisions should be agreed on by all the relevant parties.